Hey, what's up everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we are doing the Champions Report on the WBA, the World Boxing Association, as we are going to take a look at all title belts and champions from 122 pounds all the way to heavyweight. This is a bi-monthly report that I give. This is the second edition of 2024 here at the end of April heading into May. A lot going on. Before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So first, we're going to start in 122-pound super bantamweight division. We look at the WBA title there, which is currently held by the undefeated, undisputed super bantamweight world champion Naoya Inoue, the Monster. He returns next Monday, May 6th on ESPN Plus in the main event when he battles Luis Nery, the WBC mandatory challenger and former two-division world champion. Gonna be a good fight right here, a good action fight right here between these two, but for as long as it lasts. But I think Inoue is gonna blast them out of there and retain the undisputed title on May 6th. I did a breakdown video of this fight. Go check it out where I get into it a little bit more in detail. But May 6th, ESPN Plus from Japan, early in the morning here in the United States. Inoue and Nery for the undisputed super bantamweight championship of the world. Next, we're going to look at the 126-pound featherweight championship, which was decided on May, I think it was May 2nd, when Raymond Ford captured the vacant title with a dramatic come from behind 12th round TKO victory over Otabek Kolmatov to become the new WBA featherweight champion of the world. Now, Ford already has his first title defense ready to go. He will be part of the June 1st 5 vs. 5 card and tournament on the Dmitry Bivol Arthur Beterbiev pay-per-view undercard, as he is going to defend his title against undefeated Nick Ball, who's coming off of a title shot against Ray Vargas, where he came up just short in a somewhat controversial draw. These two guys are going to collide. It's going to be a good fight. I'm not doing a breakdown video on the fight, so I'll give you my prediction now. I'm picking Ray Ford to win this fight by a decision, but Nick Ball is a literal, no pun intended, ball of fire. And I'm very interested in seeing how he does with his attack style against the boxer, but also the aggressive Ray Ford, as Ray Ford came alive in that last fight and stopped Otabek Kolmatov impressively. Next, 130 super featherweight. The reigning champion there is Lamont Roach Jr. Now, Lamont Roach Jr. was ordered to fight Jono Carroll way back in February, but I haven't heard anything else regarding that. He's got 2 mandatories to make against Jono Carroll, and then I think the guy's name is Edorosian, who's his #1 ranked contender, but I've heard nothing about when his next fight will be signed. I'm hoping by the next Champions Report we at least know when the fight is going to be good to go against Jono Carroll. Hopefully, like I said, we find out soon. 135 lightweight. The reigning undefeated champion there is Gervonta Tank Davis. Tank Davis will be returning on Saturday, June 15th in the main event of an Amazon pay-per-view card when he battles undefeated Frank Martin. Decent opponent for him to select here. Martin's a pretty good southpaw boxer. I'm very interested in seeing how he does against Tank. I have not yet done my breakdown video on this fight, so you're going to have to wait to see what my prediction is going to be. But if Tank does win this fight, I'm interested in seeing by the next Champions Report who he's interested in fighting after that. So we'll see. We'll have more news by the next Champions Report. But Saturday, June 15th, Tank Davis versus Frank Martin for the WBA Lightweight Championship of the World. 140 junior welterweight. The newly crowned champion there is Isaac Cruz. Cruz captured that title with a dominating knockout 8th round TKO victory over Rolly Romero on the March 30th Amazon pay-per-view card. He dominated the action from start to finish, hurt Rolly early, and just broke him down and stopped him impressively in the 8th round. Now he is already set to return on Saturday, August 3rd on pay-per-view when in Los Angeles, when he's going to battle Jose Valenzuela. Good matchup right here. Really looking forward to that a lot. Probably going to have a breakdown video on this fight, but not guaranteed, but really looking forward to it. If I don't, I'll give my prediction on the next Champions Report, since that fight is not until August. I will have a Champions Report at the end of June to discuss that fight more in detail, but I am excited for that one. That should be good. 147 welterweight. The reigning WBA Super Champion is Terrence Bud Crawford. He's also the unified welterweight champ. And the regular champion is the undefeated Imantas Stanionis. So Terrence Crawford is moving up to 154. We know that for sure in his next fight. If he's victorious, I think he's going to vacate the WBA the Super title. And Stanionis, if he gets through his title defense this month, or actually this weekend coming up, he's going to be upgraded to champion. Stanionis is battling 37-year-old Gabriel Maestre. Not a guy to push over. Stanionis hasn't fought in 2 years, but I think Stanionis is going to get through that fight. I think he'll be upgraded to champion, and I think later in the year, he's probably going to push forward with a unification bout against Mario Barrios. Granted, Mario Barrios gets by Fabian Maidana also this weekend on the Canelo undercard. But it's going to be interesting to see. But I'm hoping by the next Champions Report, if Stanionis wins, we know for sure, or if he's getting the Super title, or maybe Crawford will have given up the belt by then already. Well, we'll see how that works out. 154. Ismail Madrimov is the newly crowned WBA Super Welterweight World Champion. He captured the vacant title on March 8th on the Joshua Nagano undercard when he dominated Magomed Kurbanov, stopping him in 4 or 5 rounds to capture the vacant title. And then Madrimov got the outstanding news last week that he is going to defend his title for the first time against the pound-for-pound king Terrence Bud Crawford, who's moving up to 154 to challenge him for his championship. That's on pay-per-view on August 3rd from Los Angeles. That's going to be a huge, huge fight for Madrimov. Can't wait to see it. We'll talk more about that on the next Champions Report, as that fight is not until August 3rd. 160 middleweight. Arislandi Lara successfully made the first full defense of the middleweight title when he defeated Australian mandatory challenger Michael Zarafa on the March 30th Amazon pay-per-view card, when he brutally knocked out Zarafa in the second round. The 40-year-old, we haven't heard anything on what he's going to do next after that. I'm hoping by the next Champions Report we know what Jermall Charlo is going to do, and I'm hoping the WBC strips him finally and allows Adames to become the champion, so we can see if maybe there's a unification, or possibly if Danny Garcia is finally going to get the crack at Lara. I just want Lara to stay busier now that he's the full champion and not the regular champion anymore. But I'm hoping we have some kind of news by the next Champions Report, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to hold my breath. 168 super middleweight. The super champion there is also the undisputed champion, and that is Canelo Alvarez. He is returning this Saturday, May 4th, in the main event of a DAZN and Amazon pay-per-view card when he battles Jaime Munguia, the undefeated former junior middleweight world champion. Big time fight right here. I did a breakdown on this fight. Go check it out. But I'm picking Canelo to win this fight by late stoppage or a decision and become the new and retain the undisputed championship. David Morrell, I'm not sure if he officially gave up his title yet at 168 as regular champion, but I know he is moving up to 175 and making his light heavyweight debut and taking on Hot Rod Kaladziev, or whatever his name is, at 175. So that's going to be an interesting turn of events. He might have given up that belt, or he might be giving up that belt and no longer the regular champion. So we'll see what happens there. 175 light heavyweight, the reigning undefeated light heavyweight champion is still Dimitri Bivol, and Bivol has the biggest fight. Well, Canelo was probably a bigger fight but he has maybe the in terms of what his goal is to become undisputed champion, he is going to battle Artur Beterbiev Saturday, June 1st to unify all 4 belts and become and try to become the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. Big time fight right there on pay-per-view, headline from Saudi Arabia. It's got a stacked undercard. I can't wait to see this fight. I have not yet done my breakdown video on this fight, so I will not give you my prediction, but I'm hoping by the next Champions Report at the end of June, we know who the winner is gonna try to fight next, so we'll see. But Saturday, June 1st, pay-per-view. Cruiserweight, 200 pounds. The newly crowned champion there is Gilberto Ramirez. Gilberto Ramirez on March 30th on the main event of a DAZN card moved up, or fought for his second time at Cruiserweight when he challenged undefeated Arsen Goulamirian, and he outworked them in an exciting but very unanimous and one-sided 12-round unanimous decision as he becomes a 2-division world champion. He's actually the first ever Mexican-born fighter to capture a cruiserweight championship at 200 pounds. So he made some history there. Really looking forward to seeing what he does next, and I'm hoping by the next Champions Report we have some kind of idea of what that's going to be, whether it's a unification bout against one of the other champions, or if he's got to make a mandatory defense against former 2-time cruiserweight champion, hard-hitting Junior Dorticos. Really looking forward to seeing what happens there. Then the heavyweight championship. The reigning undefeated, unified heavyweight champion of the world is still Alexander Usyk, and the regular champion is Mahmoud Char. For Usyk, he has the biggest fight of his professional career on May 18th in the main event of a DAZN pay-per-view card when he battles the undefeated WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, as they are going to attempt to unify all 4 heavyweight championships and decide the first ever undisputed champion of the four belt era, but also the first undisputed champion in 25 years period in the heavyweight division. Huge fight. I did a breakdown video on this fight. Go check it out. I picked Tyson Fury to win this fight, but I do believe it's 50-50. I do believe Usyk has a very good chance of pulling off this win and being your next undisputed world champion. So hopefully by the next Champions Report, by the next Champions Report we'll see what happens when and where they're going next, the winner of that fight. So it should be entertaining to see. And then Mahmoud Char, the regular champion, he was supposed to fight Kubrat Pulev, the former 2-time world title challenger. He had to pull out of the fight again with an injury, so the fight's off. I think the fact that he's the regular champion is a fucking joke, but he is for now. So we'll see what kind of news comes from that. But that's it for the regular, for the WBA title. A lot of WBA championships will be on the line in these next 2 months. You have Saturday, May 4th, the Super Bantamweight Championship on the line. Naoya Inoue versus Luis Neri for the undisputed title. June 1st, the Featherweight Championship will be on the line when Raymond Ford defends the title against Nick Ball. Then on... let me see here. On June 15th, the lightweight championship is on the line when Gervonta Tank Davis battles Frank Martin, defends his title against Frank Martin. Then on, Jesus Christ, I'm drawing a blank. 140 is not on the line, I believe. No, it's not on the line. 147, Montes Stanionis will defend his regular title at 147. He'll defend that this weekend against Gabriel Maestre. Then 168, Canelo Alvarez defends his undisputed title against Jaime Munguia on May 4th on the DAZN pay-per-view. And then the heavyweight championship, the light heavyweight championship will be on the line. Dimitri Bivol will defend against Artur Beterbiev and attempt to become the undisputed light heavyweight world champion. And then finally, the heavyweight championship on May 18th will be decided when Usyk battles, when Alexander Usyk battles Tyson Fury for the to determine an undisputed champ at heavyweight. So a lot going on. for the WBA. Can't wait to see all the action. This has been the WBA Champions Report, the second edition of 2024. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.